So the Morris Miner's back in. This is the first time we've videoed the actual car from when we did the engine build a couple of months ago. It's come in because I'll show you around the car first. I mean, it's absolutely stunning, and my customer Dave and his wife do a lot of travelling with this. They go and do a lot of tours with it. It is absolutely beautiful, but it's come in because it's got a water leak from the head gasket, and we stand by our work. So I said bring it down. They only live locally, so I said bring it down and I'll replace the head gasket for it, or on it I should say. We don't want an unhappy customer, so it's got to be right. And we thought it was the water tap was leaking, which I'll show you in a sec, but Dave's replaced that. That's no longer leaking, but we've still got a little bit of antifreeze coming from the head gasket. So I'll get the bonnet open and I'll show you where it's coming from. Okay. So there it is, all in the car. So he's made a really nice job of getting it all in. It's lovely in here. That's the new tap that was fitted. So I originally thought the water was coming, well, there was actually antifreeze coming from the tap. The tap had all distorted, so, but that's not leaking now. But if I run my finger along the back of the cylinder head, there's some antifreeze. Now what I did when I fitted the gasket was I didn't fit any sealant onto the gasket. So I think what's happened is the gasket's compressed and compressed fine. The car runs lovely, but where there was no sealant, I didn't put any sealant on the head gasket. I think we've just got some leaking through the gasket. So I'm going to change that and hopefully we'll get it cured. So the first thing that I'm doing is just looking at what tools that I need to get the cylinder head off. This is all imperial sizing, so I'm going to get a load of tools together so I don't have to keep walking backwards and forwards to the toolbox. And then we're going to separate the exhaust and the inlet from it, move that to one side, get that off. I'm going to drain the coolant out of it and save that because it's brand new antifreeze in there. And then we'll carefully just take everything else off, lift the cylinder head off, take the studs out, clean all the block up, clean the cylinder head up, and then refit the new gasket, torque it down, run it up, make sure it's all good for him. So that's the cylinder head off, and I can't actually see any traces of a leak from the gasket. We're going to go over it very lightly with some emery and the cylinder head, but where it's all pretty new, it hasn't done really too many miles, it's all still in really good good order. So I'm definitely going to well seal the new gasket down. And there's the gasket. But there's no trace of where it's really been leaking from. So I just think it was the simple fact that I probably should have well sealed it, and I didn't. There we go, I'll finish cleaning it up. I'll also clean the cylinder head up and well seal both surfaces, and we'll get it back together. So I've cleaned the head face up, I've cleaned the block face up, and what I'm going to do now is put the studs back in and refit the cylinder head with a new gasket. So I'm quickly just putting this back together, and my friend Chris has turned up with his absolutely gorgeous Mini, which we helped do machining on for the engine and the cylinder head. He built it all himself, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and it's done very well in some shows as well, which is very good. So big credit to him for building a beautiful car. And I think he drives it a little bit too fast, so I hear. What are you doing next with it, Chris? And you got a show soon, or?
On Sunday.
Oh, Sunday. Where's that at?
Sunday, I can't remember. Other side of Basingstoke.
Oh, cool.
It's a show and shine. It's the Barley Mow pub, and it's the first all-day one they've done.
Yeah.
So if it's not raining, I shall turn up.
And I think you'll win, won't you?
I hope so.
We're going to win.
Because you've got, yeah. I've had second, and I've had a third. I had a third in the concourse and a second in the London to Brighton.
There we go.
Yeah.
We just need a win now then.
I'm going to retire from it.
That's it.
I'm
Right.
going to keep chasing it then.
Back onto the Moggy Miner. So the Moggy Miner's all back together. I've just got to put the carburettor on, and I'm just going to run through the tappets as well. So that's the A series back together now. The head gasket's been replaced. I have noticed that the water tap has definitely still got a leak coming from it, so I'm going to try and nip that up a little bit more, and then I'm going to let my customer know that he needs to monitor that, because although I've changed the head gasket, I think I might have changed it because the tap was still leaking. But there we go. I've ran through the tappets. I've got to do the ignition timing with Sam, because I've got to put the timing light underneath the car, and then Sam will have to adjust it. We do that with no vacuum, so this pipe here is the vacuum pipe that goes on the distributor here. And what happens is when you open the throttle and the induction system causes vacuum, it pulls in the distributor and it changes the ignition advance and retard. So what we've got to do is, when we set the timing, have it where it's not working, it's not going to fluctuate because of the engine running, it's just going to sit static on the springs. So we're going to do that now too. Right, let's see if it fires up. So ignition on. Keep an eye on the oil pressure light, make sure that goes off straight away. Oh, there we go, sprung straight into life. Brilliant. Perfect. I'm going to get the rocker cover on then, and then we'll do the ignition timing. Yeah, there's water building up on that tap again, or antifreeze. One of these is noisy. If I can work out which one it is. No, it must be just the clearance. Right, I'm going to switch it off because it's splattering oil everywhere. There we go. I think we might have fixed this one, Sam.
Awesome.
Do you want to get the timing light and we'll do that?
Okay.
The red one. Let's get the rocker cover on. So that's it, me and Sam have just set the ignition timing. We'll put the rest of the bits on, the vacuums back on, distributor's tight. So we'll go for a little road test. Right, let's go and give it a quick test ride. Window down. We're off. Oh, the brakes are good. Just going to go a quick ride around the block, make sure it's all okay. Nice and steady because it's still being run in. Well, it drives really nice. Podium calf. The window needs a bit of a clean, it's filthy. Lovely gear change. go. I'm going to give it one last look over, but I think it's all ready for Dave to come and collect. Well, stunning little car, drives really well. So there we go. If you've enjoyed this video, if you could hit the subscribe button please, and give it a thumbs up, and hit the alert bell if you want to catch more videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra.